So, of course, I'm most known for having lived in Luna, but a lot of people don't realize that I continue doing action long after I touched the ground. And one of the things I did was the largest single war tax redirection in history. I sued 3 corporations and settled out of court, and I told them, and I did, give 100% of the proceeds from that settlement away. But right as we were closing in on the settlement amount, I found out that the IRS wanted 33% of that settlement amount, even though I was giving it all away. And this was happening right as we were heading into Iraq under Bush Jr., under the lies saying that Iraq had something to do with the horrible tragedies of September 11th, which all of us who were paying attention knew was not the case. I, like many people, were out in the streets marching and protesting, and yet I knew in my mind and in my heart that although it is important to be out there utilizing our free speech, that if we feed the same beast that marches us off to wars that are not about safety and have everything to do with trying to control power and resources, that if we continue to feed that beast with our tax dollars, it doesn't care at all what we have to say. And so I knew in my heart and in my mind and in my gut and in my soul and my spirit that I could not, in good conscience, give that money at that time, because I knew where it would go. That it would go to the mass slaughter of innocent people, including the lives of the men and women of the armed forces who are willing to risk their lives for their beliefs. And I know what that means. And although I don't support the industrial war complex, I do believe in supporting those who are willing to stand up for their beliefs and who are a part of the military. I can separate those two things. And so I was not willing to support the murder of innocent people in Iraq, and I was not willing to support the sacrifice of the people of the United States military for an illegal war. And so I gave 100% of the proceeds from that settlement, including the money that the IRS said that it belonged to them. And I filed my taxes, and I told them, I'm actually paying my taxes, I'm just paying them where they belong because you refused to do so. And thus started a 10-year sacrifice of my life, because I had to live below ground as far as I could not earn income in the way that we would normally earn income. I had to live through barter system and through all kinds of ways that meant that I had to limit the amount of money that I could earn for 10 years. And during that time, I started this campaign called Activism is Patriotism, and I used that in-kind donation to launch this campaign, Activism is Patriotism, because at that time, and what we're seeing now is that like the January 6th riots on the United States Capitol was considered patriotism, yet standing up for the rights of this planet that we live on, and standing up for the rights of animals, and standing up for the rights of people, and standing up for the rights of future generations is called terrorism. And yet patriotism means dropping bombs on innocent people, and patriotism means racism, and patriotism means rioting the Capitol. No. This country, although founded on genocide, also, so many of the rights we take for granted today come from real activism. So many of the rights, human rights, the rights of women to vote, civil rights, so many rights we take for granted came because of people taking action and taking risks. And I refuse to allow for activism to be stolen by those who use it for evil, who use it for greed, who use it to control free speech. That's not activism. Activism is standing up for the health of our planet for now and for future generations. Activism is standing up for human rights. Activism is standing up for the rights of animals so that they're not treated horrifically in slaughterhouses and in these big ag places. Activism is standing up for democracy that is being stolen right before our very eyes. That is patriotism. And I'm saying we have to reclaim what activism means, that this is not terrorism. Terrorism is what's happening by big corporations destroying our environment. Terrorism is not people standing up for what's truly our rights. We have to reclaim it. And so, relaunching this campaign, Activism is Patriotism. And the standing up for our true rights is not terrorism. Standing up for our true rights is patriotism.